Hill figure. Thursday afternoon, early evening. This is the Star Report. Okay, welcome to the show that never ends. I want to do a little research with you. And if you're new to the show, the pace is a lot slower in the daytime as opposed to the evenings when we're a little bit more turned up. However, still the trending topic, premium black news, Wack 100 and Maino go head up, pause, arguing on China Max Live, and then it has spiraled into something else, and I need to get up to speed. I called Florida Boy Jay this morning. He was not in the loop on something in particular I'm trying to find out, okay? Got a little coffee this afternoon, and I got a little wine. I might try and just touch it, after we get the show rolling, okay? Also, showrunner. Give me a little time before I approach that because that has been going through my mind for about 2 years now, and I think now is the right time to approach it. We've pretty much come out of the pandemic, but here's what I need to know with regards to Wack 100 and Maino. Is Maino's gangster on trial? Is Maino's gangster on trial? Huh? Nobody can live off of old reps for but so long. And this is the objective perspective. I need you guys to either bring me up to speed, clear something up for me, because I could have sworn over 5 years ago, Wack 100 was talking real grimy on social media to Maino. Talking about, I'll be in Brooklyn, we can get down. And I remember Maino putting up on Instagram like emoji faces, laughing, but he didn't say, bet, let's get down. Am I wrong? Can someone please bring me up to speed? Bring me up to speed. Now, maybe he didn't take Wack 100 serious. Maybe he didn't have time. And then I lost the story. I got busy doing something else, but that's what I remember. Now we have Wack 100 talking greasy again to Maino. Now Maino is saying, let's get to it. Sadly, folks, that's what we want to see. We want to see the nonsense. That's premium black urban news. I'm ashamed at my age to even have this in my title. I tried to avoid this topic last night, but then something else happened that I caught this morning, and that's when I called Florida Boy Jay and I said, hey man, Wack 100, aka Clayface, I call him Clayface, is he just trolling? Did he really call Young Berg, who Maino slapped fire out of back in either 2009 or, I think it was 2009 or 2008, pow! They were doing shows together somewhere, and Young Berg, who's now Hitmaker, he tried to talk crazy to Maino. I forget what that was about, and then Maino smacked him. Pow! So, my question to Florida Boy Jay, give me a second. Did Wack 100 really call Young Berg, a.k.a. Hitmaker? And supposedly they're going to try and shut down Maino's show? What show? Is this something on Fox Soul? I don't watch Fox Soul. Troll babies, good evening, good afternoon. Am I headed in the right direction? I started to call the homie the number one source with regards to Brooklyn. Anything Brooklyn M-Rec. But I don't want to, disturb him with this nonsense, I didn't hear Hitmaker talking to Wack 100 in case I missed it. But now, Maino was upset, and he got at Wack 100 via, was Instagram, Instagram, and then he's dropping the F-bombs. Yes, no, troll babies, dropping the F-bombs, and then Wack 100 and his team, 100 ENT from Clubhouse, I'm not on Clubhouse, they start then sending the F-bombs, Maino's post, to Fox Soul. Yes, no? Yes, star spelled backwards is rats. I've been saying that since 1998. Thank you for getting up to speed. Thank you. Okay, I just want to see if I'm going in the right direction. So anyway, so it's nice to now see Maino just come on live and say, let's get to it. Let's get down. Let's get down. Can Maino still get down? I don't know. I've never seen him, you know. I saw him show Bunky S.A. the hammer one time and say, you know what I'm about. Bunky S.A. from Gotta Get It Gang, the BX. I know all this shit. Bunky kind of froze up, and then Bunky came on the Star and Buck Wild show after Bunky S.A. Hustle Hard Gotti came on the Star and Buck Wild show. Anyway, is Maino really serious about getting down? Oh, Maino, I would love to see him get down. Not because I want to promote, violence or anything, but Star was the only person on New York radio I started in March of 2000, Star and Buck Wild Show, Hot 97. The only person who used to say, and they will confirm in that live chat with regards to Suge Knight, I said this for months, will somebody please just test his jaw? Why are all of you shook? Scared to death, scared to look. Remember that, troll babies, before we go any further. Give him a second, there's a little delay here. Huh? Okay. So, can Maino get down? Does he have to get down? Wack 100 is now violating. He's trying to stop the bag. Nigga, you got to go see him, Maino. It's a violation. Back in the early 80s, I learned from the nation of gods and earths. It's an old saying, if you violate, I must demonstrate. Okay, folks, I took a shot of the Pharma Sus 300 this morning, so I'm going to be a little extra, just let you know right now. But that's what they used to say back in the days. If you violate, I must demonstrate. Will Maino demonstrate, or will he just let Wack 100 do him like he did my homie Benzino? Oh, my God. Anyway. All right, so that's where I'm at. I need to know if that call was real between Clayface and Hitmaker, and if so, what does Hitmaker have to do with a Maino television show? Is Hitmaker some type of executive over at Atlantic and Fox Soul? I don't know, okay? All right, now, my showrunner, give me some time to lay this out, because, again, I'm doing research in the afternoons. Let me also say, for those who don't know, I am one of the few people who enjoys giving props and acknowledgement to other people. If I see a topic or a story, I like to give them credit, And it helps me, my audience respects it, and the channel that I acknowledge, they appreciate it. But this topic, I'm not sure if anybody has approached this or not. Does FBA need their own language? Now, FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. Does FBA need their own language? Now, before you start laughing, you think about the fact that if you mispronounce any of the pronouns or the words with regards to the LGBTQ plus community, you will get to bucking, shaking, correcting yourself, and then saying, oh, no, I don't, I love everybody. I don't want no problems. Huh? Does FBA need their own language? Now, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, is a lineage, not a group. There are no leaders. However, Tariq Nasheed is one of the most outspoken that I know of. I respect his work. You've heard me acknowledge him. We've never met in person. We had a phone conversation years ago, great conversation. So he would be, if I'm not mistaken, one of the leading, if not the leading authority. Yes, no, troll babies. One of the leading authorities. Yes, my nigga King Flex. Huh? So, Foundational Black Americans, I'm half, I'm half Foundational Black American, and I want half of reparations. If you guys get something, I want in. reparations are due. And my source for this particular story, I have to go back to 1996, Oakland, California, the school board discussing Ebonics. And then there were other articles after that. Some of you know this already. If not, let me go back. But first, let me say this again about Tariq Nasheed. If he has approached this topic or a similar topic, let's give him his credit. I'm not sure he has or hasn't, but I think this is worth discussing, okay? So if Tariq Nasheed or anybody else has, put forth such a question, does FBA need their own language? Call in so we can acknowledge them and promote them. Anyway, going back to 1996, Oakland School Board discusses Ebonics. You can go to CNN.com. You can also go to rethinkingschools.org. These are some of my sources. Rethinkingschools.org has literally 17 pages, Ebonics and culturally responsive instruction. Okay, can you see that? Rethinking Schools, Ebonics and culturally responsive instruction, okay? Very intense information here. So the question, does FBA need their own language? I'm going to be bouncing around, again, because I'm doing research, but let me just go off the top here for a second. Off the top. The dominant genre right now, and which has been for over 2 decades, if not more, is urban culture. Hip-hop, which is a sort of a thing of the past, but urban culture. Let's just say urban culture, the dominant genre, the most influential. Birthed by the most creative people here in America. Descendants of slaves, some were already here, whatever you believe. But let's focus on FBA. Do they need their own language? Now, I'm just pointing to 1996, Oakland, California, and the discussion of Ebonics. However, you don't have to use Ebonics when making your point or when we explore this theory. You don't have to use Ebonics. Who came up with the term Ebonics? Was it meant to be derogatory? Is it meant to be dismissive of the intelligence of FBA and ADOS people? FBA and ADOS, American descendants of slavery, have been stripped of their culture, their language, so they had to readapt and learn and survive and maintain here in America and still come out strong. I myself, you know my age, born in 64, I was very, very much pushing, learn the King's English. I struggle with Ebonics, right? When Star got on the radio in March of 2000, how did I end my shows for 3 years? May all of your children speak proper English, and may the gates that surround your property keep you safe from common ghetto trash. Let me say that again for those of you who don't know. If you've ever heard someone say that, that's just an original saying that I created. I created that back in 1997 when I was writing for The Source magazine, but when I got to Hot 97, I started saying it to end my shows. May all of your children speak proper English, and may the gates that surround your property keep you safe from common ghetto trash. Well, times are different now. Times are different now. Is a language needed for FBA? This country has bent over backwards for Spanish-speaking people. Yes, no, maybe in the live chat? Spanish-speaking people. And never mind black people, nobody hates each other more than Latins. That's a fact. If you don't know the history, going back to, the Spanish Inquisitions, which I had to write 2 reports on back in New Jersey as a child, no one hates each other more than Latins. When you hear people mistakenly call a Puerto Rican Spanish or a Cuban Spanish, that flies here in America. But let a Puerto Rican go to Spain and try to say I'm Spanish. You speak Spanish. You're not Spanish. You're Puerto Rican, descendant of Taino slaves. Now, that's not to be hateful towards them, but you have to know history. History. Anyway, the point is, this country has bent over backwards for decades. When you call to pay a bill, you call some goddamn place and the prompt to speak in English or Spanish. Most groups here in America don't speak proper Spanish. They speak Spanglish or Nuyorican, which is really disgusting, to be honest with you. It's so broken. It's such a poor derivative of Spanish. But, hey, oh my. Dana, sit tight. I think that's Dana on the line. I want to get to Dana early. She was helping me with some research. Dana with the data, sit tight. I'll be right there. Sit tight. So I'm trying to lay some of this stuff out. And again, if anybody has approached this topic on your YouTube channel, notify me so I can promote your platform. Somebody had to have thought of this before me. But maybe not for FBA, Foundational Black Americans. They are going for the bag, and rightfully so. In case you don't know, Martin Luther King Jr. started talking about coming for that check before they killed him, and they killed him. In case you don't know that, he was in the hospital fighting for his life, and the doctor said, let that nigger die. Anybody know that in the live chat? Now, what would that language be? I don't know. That's where you come in. What would that language be? I'll even say I'm too old to try and figure out what the language should be. This is your time. Should it be something similar to Ebonics, but a different name, a different way to communicate? I refuse to believe that little black boys and girls are not as smart as white kids. I had to take an exam to get into a school years ago, back in the 70s. Oh, my mother. Boy, she got me ready for that exam, and she was hard on me, poking me in the head, plucking me, grab me by the hair and shake me. My mother was a school teacher, so she knew the approach to get me ready for the entry exam to a private school. You know that story. So what would the language be, if any? Let me also say this before I go to the phone lines. Every culture has their own way of communicating, laughing, doing something that the other person gets, and only they get. There are certain ways that Jewish people communicate that you would never get. You wouldn't understand unless you know that culture. There's certain ways that Japanese people talk and make gestures, and Japanese poetry that you would never understand because you can't translate everything from Japanese into English. So what would that language be? Again, I don't know. But let me just say this last part. South is dominating. Maybe it should be some type of Southern dialect, huh? The South, for decades, I've seen black women, black girls say, the fuck. That's a Southern thing. Anybody see girls from up north now saying, the fuck? Mimicking Southern black women? And other things. Wait a minute. How do you spell wait a minute? Ooh, child. And other things that, some people look down on, but it's part of the dominant urban genre right now, if you will. I just remembered something. If anybody can give me some information as I bring this first caller in, when did Tyler Perry start his shows up in New York City at the Beacon Theater? You see, it's not just hip-hop radio that influenced the North by way of the South. Tyler Perry, though he was doing those plays at the Beacon Theater in New York City. If anybody has the year, I used to get the tickets when I worked at WEA. Tyler Perry. And he used to sell out the Beacon Theater before he even started doing Medea films, okay? Area code 973, is that Dana with the data on a Thursday. Dana?
Hey, can you hear me?
Hey, thank you for being patient. You and I spoke briefly earlier. My question, does FDA need their own language or WAC 100 and Maino? Premium Black News, where do you want to start?
Yeah, not the premium Black News with the Maino. I don't know what's going on with that.
Okay, come on.
But I want to talk about do Black people need their own language? Yeah. And I think that's a good question, right? And just to mention, you brought up the Oakland School District. Yeah. They did pass and they do recognize Black English. So that was approved and passed in that school district of Oakland.
Yes, Oakland, California, for those who don't know.
Black and Oakland, California. So that is considered a second language, Black English. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with that. And I think for me, with this conversation, I'm going to be coming from the John McWhorton theses, because he wrote a book, Talking Back, Talking Black.
The thesis.
He's American linguistics. Mm-hmm. He wrote a book, Talking Back, Talking Black, and it's about, making the general public have a more positive view of dialect that most Black Americans use in casual situations. So basically, a lot of people think that there's something wrong with the way Black people talk, whether it's our sound or certain words we use. And I think the Black English can help eliminate negative stigma, particularly in the media. Okay. How the media portrays when the press use the word thug, it's like they're using it in a negative way or somewhat of the N-word or code for the N-word. Mm-hmm. Or like when Black women say sis, S-I-S, So I think Black English can eliminate the Black stigma. So it will be useful. And let me just say this. English is the number one language here, and it should be. And Black people always be able to code switch, whether it's interviews, calling up customer service on the phone or school meetings. So we always had the ability to code switch.
Well, hang on. Last time I checked, and I've checked over the decades, there's no written law that English is the language of America. And that's how many Hispanic-speaking people have been able to get around and get different grants and loans and things like that. How can you deny me what I need to restart my life? You've opened your borders and your gates, and there's no law that says English is the language. You do know that, right? There's no law. Last I checked.
Right. Well, I'm not going to disagree with you with that. And what they did, you're using American laws, American policy to say there is no law. So you do have to, honor me not speaking your first language here in this country, which is English. LGBTQAI follow suit as well, because now we have to adjust to their labels and their language labels, not just in a workplace, but even in social settings, social media, everywhere. Mm-hmm. So why
hang on a second, Dana, before you forget, because you pointed out something to me earlier that I didn't know with regards to restrooms in the New York City or New York tri-state. Or what's going on with that? Are they unisex? What's going on?
Yeah, particularly New York City, a place I used to work at, well-established, place. So eventually what they did, they took off the men and on the door of the men's room and women on the door of the women's room and replaced it with his, her, they, and she, her, they, or whatever. So they took down, So again, when we talk about language, labels, so why not have our society accept Black English.
Yeah, yeah.
To take away that negative stigma.
If you mispronounce something with regards to the LGBTQ plus, they correct you right away and say, you're saying it wrong. You know, that's what they do.
Right.
Yeah, you need to learn the taste. Yeah.
Exactly.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and as far as LGBTQ, because, the judge, because he's a stickler for proper English, but he said, how you going to call someone they that identify as a they because they don't identify as a he or she? That's not proper English.
Right.
But again, is it about being proper or is it about taking away a negative stigma?
Yeah.
So that should apply to Black people as well.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm just asking the question, does FBA need their own language? I don't know what that language would or wouldn't be, and you are, Dana, with the data. So if you find that Tariq Nasheed, a.k.a. King Flex, has approached this topic, let me know so I can acknowledge him. I just thought about it because, of where we are in society and how things are different now, post-pandemic. And I like the fact that young Black people in the Atlanta area are entrepreneurs. That's one of the things I do like about here. Everybody's downtown at the conventions. They're social engineers, content creators. They're getting a bag. They're building their own online communities. I think that's great. And I don't have a problem with how they're speaking, even though, again, when people sometimes they're tripping me up with the ebonics, I get a little bothered, but hey, I'm almost 60. So children are the future, as they say. Anything else you want to mention or promote your platform, Dana?
Yeah, well, let me just add on this.
Come on.
When we talk about culture, right? Because culture plays a part in language as well. And I kind of want to use my grandkids as an example because, yes, they speak English. They speak English very well.
Whoa. You have grandkids? I didn't know you had grandkids. What the hell?
You know I had grandkids. Yeah, 4.
You told me once upon a time not to say that. Okay, but since you've let the cat out the bag, Dana.
Oh, I did.
Dana's a grandmother. No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Damn.
I got 4.
Come on.
Ranging from ages 4 to 10. They're 2 years apart.
Come on.
But they speak very good English. But you know what? They're not in a regular school setting. They go to Muslim school because they're learning Arabic, right? Which when you talk about religion, you're talking about culture. So, I think when we're talking about cultural assimilation, language does play a part. And I'm not saying this example to be disrespectful, but certain people, that let's say in the projects and they do speak ghetto or whatever, most likely when you see young kids speaking that way because their parents speak that way. So that is passed down. But depending on where you are in life in certain situations, can you communicate so that other people can understand you? So I think the bottom line comes down to communication. So, yeah. I just want to add in the culture.
Is it time for people to accept being ghetto? Whereas, my generation and perhaps yours look down upon that. Ghetto. Now we see a different type. We see a different type of Black person. Yes, they're being exploited on the news and social media, but at the same time, you have to be ghetto to be on television. You have to be ghetto to be really popping on social media, to give that tea. Child is messy. You have to be ghetto. You have to keep it real. If you're an athlete, entertainer, Denzel Washington got his Oscar for acting ghetto in Training Day. Glorilla! My ratchet ass friends. Glorilla is getting ready to rock Summer Jam up in New York City. Maybe is it time to be ghetto, Dana?
Oh, yes and no, because I'm ghetto at times.
Oh.
And I yeah, no, but Dana. I'm not stupid.
No, Dana. Come on. Come on, come on.
But I'm not stupid. I'm intelligent. You know, I'm not ignorant. But I could be ghetto. I could be ratchet, especially when it calls to these. Because sometimes you have to be able to communicate with certain people on their level.
Yeah.
So it's not wrong with it to a certain degree. But at the same time, I didn't raise my kids, nor will my grandkids be raised to emulate or look up to a Glorilla or those types of people.
Okay, listen, I appreciate the information you sent me.
This is a great topic.
Hey, do you want to stay on the line? I mean, I'm not rushing off, but you want to help me take a call or two, guys? Dana might hang out. You want to take?
Yeah, I'll stay on the line for a little bit before I go to my yoga meditation.
Oh, okay. You're getting flat. Let's see if we can bring in two calls. Dana's on the line with me. Good afternoon, 272. Please watch the language. We're discussing WAC 100 and Maino, and also does FBA need their own language? Are you there? 272.
Yeah, what's going on, Star? This is Q.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Nah, some of the stuff, I was listening to the young woman talk. Some of the stuff she was saying, she was actually 100%.
Okay.
Because some of the language and barrier comes from the development where you grew up at.
Right.
So if you grew up in the hood, that's all you know that barrier, because you grew up in a home with black folks where they said certain things and then you carried it. But if you grew up in the suburbs where you're around a lot of white folks,
right,
your speech barrier is going to be different. Yeah. So it comes down to where you grew up at and your structure and your household.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I mean,
so another thing.
Hang on a second. We're speaking the same thing here, but the question is, does FBA, and I'm using foundational Black Americans, do they need their own language? Should it even be explored? That's the question.
No, I don't think it needs to. I don't think it needs to, because you're going to be who you are at the end of the day. And whether people like it or not, it's never going to change. Because if you really go back to history, it started slavery days. See, us black folks in slavery days, we wasn't able to talk like that, because back in the days, they was only able to talk a certain way. And most of the time, most black people back in slavery time, the only word they was able to say is yes, master.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, hang on a second. How old are you, sir? How old are you?
Me, I'm 42.
Okay. Are you against the concept?
Nah.
Hang on, sir. Hang on. Are you against the concept of black people having something of their own? There's a lot of black people that get to cooning and buffooning. Not saying you. As soon as it's a reparee, hang on, sir. Hang on. Let me ask the question. As soon as you make reference to black people getting just a little something, they don't need that. They ain't gonna do nothing with it anyway. That's black people first. Are you against the concept of black people having their own language?
Not at all. Not at all.
Come on.
And the next thing, the thing with Maino and Wack, man, to me, I feel like that's who Wack is. Wack is the type of person like controversial, right? He likes beef. He likes drama. That's who he is.
Okay.
So my thing is, sometimes I don't understand why they go back and forth with him, because everything he do is for content. He likes that drama. He loves it. The minute he started running around with 6ix9ine, we know he was a rat and snitch. It goes back to the song Beanie Siegel said it back in the day.
Okay. All right, so I don't want to go back that far. We had a good discussion. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so Beanie Siegel and 6ix9ine. I got no time for 6ix9ine, to be honest with you. Let's go to area code 908. Good afternoon, good evening. We're having a discussion about Clayface, WAC 100, talking hella greasy to Maino. Are you up to speed? 908.
Hey, what's going on? Brooklyn Giggles. What's going on?
My main nigga on the trigger. How you feel, man? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, good to hear from you too. Yeah, the Maino and WAC 100 situation. It's stupid, man. It's in my opinion, Maino, he got to take the L. He knew that he knew that WAC 100. You know, WAC 100 has been happening on and off issues with Maino for years. So it's nothing really new to me. Like this goes back to the time when I think there was it's old tension. I ain't trying to go all the way back for you, sorry.
Well, no. I'm doing research. Brooklyn Giggles. When was that? When Maino and Wack 100 were beefing? Was it Instagram or Twitter? Wack 100 said, "I'm pulling up in Brooklyn." Maino is texting or tweeting emoji faces as opposed to saying, "Bitch nigga, where you at?" I mean, I didn't get that from him. Did I miss something, or were they just playing around? What year was that? You know what I'm talking about?
All right. So back then, that was during the time when Meek and Game were having issues.
Right.
And that was a time. Yeah, and that was a time when, everybody was thinking there was going to be. I don't think it was getting to the point where it was going to be another West Coast or East Coast beef, but like I remember Maino on Instagram stated that he's not trying to get involved in that beef between those two. And I remember Wack 100 has said something about that. I think he was trying to
Max said, "I'm pulling up. I'm coming to Brooklyn." That's what he said, man.
Yeah. So this old tension just brought back up, because originally he was talking to Wack 100 was talking to China Mac, and then out of nowhere, Maino.
Salute to China Mac. Oh, my nigga, China Mac. Hey, he's just sitting there looking at both of them niggas, wolfing and barking.
Yeah, he was just letting them go. He was letting them go.
Let these monkeys do what they do.
He was letting them go. He knows what it is. But the thing about Maino, like I'm sorry, but like I can't. It's hard to choose sides on this one because with Maino, like you still had the Jesus piece that Troy Ave.
Let me jump out the window, Brooklyn Giggles. Let me jump out the window.
Let's go.
I want to see Maino get down. I want to see him get down.
You want to see?
I lived in Brooklyn since the early 80s. I want to see Maino get down with that nigga Wack. And I ain't trying to hear nothing less. Get down with that nigga.
It can happen, but look. It can happen, but they got to stay off social media. Just do it out behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The more they talk, the more hip.
Test the nigga's jaw. Like Akon's people tested Suge Knight's jaw. Get down with that nigga. That nigga was out there talking crazy, chasing Tretch in gangland.
I was just about to bring that up. Tretch went to L.A. and allegedly knocked out Wack 100. Allegedly, but we don't know the truth to that.
I need content, Maino. It's time to get down, nigga. What's cracking? What's cracking, nigga? All right, I got to go, Brooklyn Giggles. Thank you. Let's get him out of here, man. That's all that giggling about. All right, Dana, I'm going to get back. I got a couple of people in the line here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the links. Anything else you want to mention? You have the last word. Dana with the data.
Yeah, no. Just to answer the question, yes, we do need our own language. And tune in tonight to The Real Dana. Of course, nice. Me and Judge Joe Brown every Thursday live.
Nice. Thank you, Dana. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right. Okay. Have a good one.
Folks, I took a shot of pharmacist. Let me go turn the AC up because I'm about to jump out the window, nigga. I want to see Maino. Get down, nigga. It's time to get down. Be right back. Boss, back in the building. Star spelled backwards. Rats, dirty, grimy Brooklyn nigga. And I'm here to I'm here to see what's cracking with the homie Maino, huh? Time to get down, nigga. And they rock, huh? Rock until we drop. Can somebody tag the homie MREC? Yeah, I get all the updated info from MREC. I'll follow MREC's lead. If he says fall back, old nigga, leave it alone, I'll leave it alone. But I want to see Maino get down for his. Folks, I'm from New Jersey, born and raised. If I can just go off the rails for a second, let me just. Mo Fax, sit tight. You're up next. Mo Fax, sit tight, sit tight, sit tight. Growing up in New Jersey, the beautiful suburbs, I used to play in the basements of my friends. Their fathers were soldiers, capos, in the Cosa Nostra. We're in the basement playing with the goddamn AFX Tyco cars. You go to the bathroom and the stench. I couldn't figure out, Jesus Christ, why does that room stink so much? It stunk. Years later, the kid, who I'm not going to say his name, he told me the reason why that room stunk because his father was a capo. And they used to cut up things in the room. Bodies. That's what the embalming fluid was for. The point is, the bosses have to show the soldiers that they still got it. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Maino has to show the little niggas, I can still do this. Time to get down with that nigga Wack. Time to get down with that nigga. I'm here for the bullshit. 919, is that Mo Fax? Good afternoon, Mo, are you there?
Hi. How you doing, Star?
Hey, man, I'm talking about the premium black news, or does FBA need their own language? Mo Fax, where do you want to start?
I'm going to start with the language, then we go to the premium black news
Yes,
to wrap up. But
yes,
we already have our own language.
come on.
That's the thing. Like, we already have it, and we speak amongst ourselves using it. I'm from the South, and the thing with the South is that white people criticize us for speaking our broken English, but they gave us the broken English. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a language. We learned this language from our slave owners, mm-hmm. who came from Britain, who spoke with certain words like ain't and yonder and y'all. Mm-hmm. We picked that up, and now since hip hop was in the South and took over hip hop, that language is now in the greater black language. Like, you used to get laughed at if you said y'all.
Yeah.
You know, now it's okay. Or you would say if you said ain't, now it's okay. But we have our own language. And what I mean by that is we can take a word like I, which comes from New York, and it can mean a bunch of different things. Like, I now, that means, you know what I'm saying, you treading lightly.
Right.
Or somebody be like, say, oh, you want to do something? We can say, I bet.
Right.
And it's the same word, but see, we are living people, and we put the energy behind the word. But what's happening is with social media, they snatch our lingo so fast. Look at the word woke.
Bingo. Stop right there. Mo Fax, stop right there. Whatever FBA creates, the dominant society takes. I was there when Ralph McDaniels and Cool DJ Red Alert and a host of others started. Shout it out. Huh? White America took that on white radio stations. Oh, call in if you want to do some shout outs. So yes, you're right in a sense. They have a lingo, a slang, if you will. But why not own it, capitalize on it? I don't know if you can necessarily trademark it because it's very antiquated now, but, claim it and be proud of it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And, hang on, let me just finish this. And the reason why I referenced Oakland, California in 1996 and 1997, Jesse Jackson was involved at the time. You may or may not know. This was a huge debate nationwide. Was it the Donahue show? One of those shows, and people were, a lot of black people, oh, this is so bad, so bad. That was the old guard. And I'm man enough to say maybe that's the old way of thinking. Maybe we should let them communicate the way they do. We've got so many entrepreneurs now. They don't need a goddamn job at Chick-fil-A or fucking Johnny's Pizza. Go ahead, Mo.
Okay, so we got two things here. You got the speech pattern and vocabulary. Like, we have our own speech pattern vocabulary. But then you also have, and I'm going to say this, Black people have a lack of being able to express themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. Y'all listen to your show all the time, and I hear callers call in, and they can't go 2 words without saying a cuss word.
Right.
That's because they have a lack of vocabulary. And if you have a lack of vocabulary, then you can't truly express yourself, which causes frustration, which causes you to lash out. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap up on this one point.
No. Stay there. You're making some good points. Hold on a second. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. And I want to make sure that King Simon, peace. Can you hold on, sir? King Simon.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Okay.
Peace. I can hold on.
Yes, sir. Peace. Hang on a second. Okay. No. Don't rush, Mo. You said, what would you say? Express themselves what?
Well, we don't have the because we went to the quote-unquote ghetto language. We don't have the vocabulary to express how we truly feel.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. I'm a high school dropout, but maybe the younger generation can create something that is a combination of speaking and I know you're going to laugh, sounds. If you think about Africa, the motherland, there's drums and tribal drums and the beats and the patterns meant something to different distant tribes. It wasn't always, I have to talk. I don't have to jump on a goddamn horse like fucking Paul Revere and go send a goddamn message. You got the tribal drums beating. Maybe there's something deeper. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. And actually, we have our own tribal things here. That's why the South has trap drums, and they put their music over trap drums. New York has boom bap drums, and they put their language over their drums. And that's the thing, like in America, among ADOS, FBA, we have our own, every segment of society, every section or location used to have their own words and lingo. Right. Now with hip hop and the internet and that kind of thing that travels, from tribe to tribe. But my point is this, I believe that the old guard relinquished control over or was taken from them back in the 80s. Because you remember when Whitney Houston came out, she used to get booed because Black people were on a different time. We were going more hip hop, but I think that pendulum is swinging back the other way. And Star, would be completely honest with you, because I was going to call into your show the other night about the Black family. Okay. This is the thing. Come on. There's a silent majority of Black people that's tired of nigger shit. Excuse my language, I don't cuss. Yeah. But we're tired. We're tired of seeing on the news people riding up and down the street, shooting indiscriminately with these switches, 30 rounds, just flying wherever. Yeah. We're tired of it. This is why Charleston White is so popular, because he's saying what the silent majority want to say. Okay. Lock these rappers up. We're tired, and we've been here before because that silent majority raised up in 1994 and asked for the first crime bill. Okay. Black people can't wash themselves and absolve themselves of us crying for a crime bill. Gotcha. And you see Joe Biden was up in New York the other day. Yeah. Touting his crime bill.
Jim Crow Joe. That's what I've always known him to be. They used to call him Jim Crow Joe years ago. Go ahead.
Right. So I'm just saying, and here's the thing. I'm going to go back to, we shouldn't be judged because we conjugate verbs, or a lot of our stuff is contractions. We take 2 words, make them one, chop them off like fam. You can see now all the marketing is taking all our stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I would say this. We shouldn't be judged by it because the BBC has a whole channel in Pidgin. You know what I'm saying? Like, so why is it they're not judged for how they speak and how they have their own language? You have patois, which is not judged, but then they come to the Black American, they look at us like, oh, you're ignorant. Because you can't, speak.
If I can interject, Mo, for a second. My mother was hard on me, as I'm sure you've heard me say before. And certain books, when I was a kid, she would put them in my room and say, try to read it. You're not going to comprehend everything, but just try to read it. There's a book by Noam Chomsky, 1957, Syntactic Structures, about linguistics. You ever heard of that book?
No, I haven't.
Noam Chomsky, Syntactic.
I'm familiar with him, but I haven't read that book.
Syntactic Structures, 1957. That book laid down a lot of groundwork here in America with regards to grammar and speaking. So they were able, and when I say they, I'm talking about the dominant society, they were able to publish things and then to influence generations to come. So maybe it's not an Ebonic style of language. And again, I'm doing research, I'm just exploring theories, but maybe there's something there that needs to be more solid and some type of a curriculum. That's the word I'm looking for, curriculum. Go ahead and finish your Mo, then I'm going to bring in King Simon. Go ahead.
Right. My last point is I don't want us to be disqualified because we say ask instead of ask. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things, but white people are going to do that when you make those little, for lack of a better word, microaggressions against the English language. You know what I'm saying? They're going to judge you and say, oh, you're ignorant or whatever. So we shouldn't be done that way. But just going to the Premium Black News, the fact that we have grown men older than me running around and doing this, I'm telling you, Star, the citizens are tired. We're tired.
I love it. And I want to see Maino get down. I want to see him get on some Brooklyn shit. I want to see him get down. I want to see it.
Oh, yeah. We all love it. But like I said, it's nothing to aspire to. We should use this cautionary tales. Thank you, Star, for always giving me a platform.
You. Yes, sir.
And as always, listen, I let people know I got my start here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Salute. Okay. Old niggas start doing too much. I know. But listen, this is where we are, huh? Oh, they was talking hella greasy. Weren't they troll babies? Maino, Jim Jones, lobby boys. Okay, well, it's time to get on down. What's cracking, big nigga? Time to get on down. King Simon, peace. Hold on a second. Black Bezos got your donation. R.I.P. Bob Lee, Cash App creator, stabbed to death. Yeah, R.I.P., man. Niggas get stabbed every day. So niggas get stabbed going to the goddamn Chinese spot to get fucking dirty poultry and refried rice. Who are you? So you crying for the cracker? Thank you for your donation, sir. Okay. Mo Skrilla got your donation listening on the drive back to Nashville. Salute. Thank you for your donation. Okay. Okay, this is very, very tiny. I can't see this. Okay, okay, I ain't got time for that right now. Please, folks, please stay on topic, please. Sir Shy, got your donation, Star. I'm on Maino and Hassan Campbell's side. Whack 100. Okay, I'm not up to speed. Maino and Hassan, what's going on with Hassan? AKA Poppy, everything all right? I haven't spoke to Poppy in eons. Is he okay? Did he get his channel back? Sir Shot, I rock with Jason Black and King Flex, hashtag FBA. Okay, thank you. Yeah, listen, man, I'm sure somebody has thought of this particular question in the past. King Simon, peace. Are you there, sir? Good afternoon and or evening. Peace.
Star. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Life is good. Good to hear from you. Where do you want to start, man? I'm on one right now.
I'm going to stay not with the Maino stuff. I'm going to stay with the FBA. You know me. No, sir. No to that. I'm not doing that. But you remember the Honorable the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad wanted to go down that route of having his own states and territory and create his own language eventually.
Yes.
That's very, very important that we recognize that. The only one that tried to come close was, Dr. York in his own way. No matter what people believed about him, he tried to come close with that, create his own Nuwapic language and his Nuwapian stuff. He tried, But and in the book that you mentioned, doesn't that book talk about there's protocols and setting up language with type of thing? So,
King Simon, your phone is going in and out, sir. Can you make some adjustments? I want to hear every word you're saying.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, sir. Noam Chomsky, 1957, Syntactic structures. I couldn't comprehend that book at first, and I said to my mom, I was like 11. I said, I can't read this. She said, well, just, she said, I'll help you, but it was a very, very important book for decades to come.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, no, I heard about that book. I think I read only snippets of it, but when you have a book similar to that, it's telling you how to make a language become a language, because it has to have structure and certain grammatic things have to be added to it. We all know this is how it is, because right now even English is not really a language; it's dialect. Right here in American dialect, it's not. So we got to really think about what we're saying when we come on these platforms and talk about that we're speaking this and we already got our this. That's absolutely not true, especially when other civilizations will not recognize it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, hang on a second. King Simon, you are a knowledgeable man. I appreciate the knowledge that you bring to my platform.
Yes.
I'm just, exploring the theory because, again, as I get older, I realize the newer generation thinks different, moves different. They don't necessarily have the burdens that my generation had. I'm very, I give them a chance. I don't condemn them. I see them doing a whole lot of stuff. I'm listening to drill rap. I did a comprehensive study since 2018 on drill rap, and now I have my own drill rap platform, shot97.com. Yeah. So I don't think what I'm saying is far-fetched. However, someone who's more knowledgeable, such as yourself and the audience, let's as you're already doing, pardon me, see if it has any legs to it, because again, not to keep going back, but when they were talking about Ebonics, maybe Ebonics is not the right word. Maybe there's something else that foundational Black Americans and ADOS should claim and nurture. Go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. I think they should. It's going to take a team of linguistics to help it out, to really structure it and then place it where it's supposed to be placed. Like, you can't just jump, it's just like studying, I studied Arabic and I studied a little Hebrew.
Okay.
But those things they think they have dimension, they have phrases, they have grammatic structure.
Right.
They have the feminine and the masculine side. They have all of this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be we can't come soft. We can't come, without any education. And we have to, if we want to be amongst the society and be considered a language. And I bear witness that they should do that. I'm not FBA. My family's from Jamaica and Cuba. Okay. But I'm being honest. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? But I think it's very important that they do step up and do that. And I hope Tariq Nasheed consider what you're saying. And if he hasn't, or if he has, kudos to him. I love what Dana said earlier. Big up to her. And I love what the brother said earlier. But we still got to, formulate this thing. Okay. It has to come. It has to be done right. Okay.
King Simon, thank you, man, for tapping in, and talk to you soon.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. So, okay, peace. King Simon from Crown Heights, a.k.a. Riot Heights, New York. Folks, if you're just now joining me, we're having a afternoon research edition, and we're talking about the nonsense, the beautiful nonsense. Wack 100 and Maino. I've jumped out the window and I said, with regards to Maino, nigga, it's time to get down. You got to show the little niggas. Show them why your name still rings bells, Troll Babies, when did the Lobby Boys come out with him and Jim Jones, a.k.a. JJ? Let me be the referee for the celebrity boxing match, Wack 100 and Maino. Let me get up in there, Hold on a second, guys. Blade, I got your donation. When Blade says, happy Passover, Star. I know you celebrate it. That's a fact. Okay, what is Blade sending me? Okay. Thank you. I'll check that out. I've seen something like that before. I don't have time. Maybe I can. Print this out. Thank you, Blade. I'll come back to that. Calvin got your donation. Black people should learn Thai. I have a list of reasons. Okay, do you want to call in, sir or ma'am? Who are you? Okay. Jalil, peace, Jalil. Tut language is FBA from slavery times. Yes, I'm familiar with Tut language. However, is that not relatable to today's generation? I'm familiar with Tut language. Is that relatable in today's day and time? There are certain languages that died off because they represented a certain period in Homo sapien history, but they died off and the people perished. But thank you for your donation. Okay, and I did speak to, I spoke to him. Hold on a second, guys. Christopher got your donations. Okay, thank you, Christopher. You are appreciated. Hey, Janet. Okay, Janet, are you calling in Ebonics is the acknowledgement of ghetto language? To dismiss or not accept the fact is the act of race traitor. Oh, collegiate linguistics studies shows the English language is actually a sub-language of West African. Now that sounds great, Janet. You can always call in if you have time. What you're saying sounds great. And the debate itself, Janet, as I'm sure you know, I'm going back to 1996, Oakland, California. Okay. Jesse Jackson, for those who don't know, and the article that I'm reading from here, CNN, Jesse Jackson, who initially criticized this month's school board decision as an unacceptable surrender bordering on disgrace, emerged from a meeting with board members with more positive words. Now, each generation deals with different realities, There's things that we've discussed here on the Star Report and other platforms that are different. Hold on a second. I want to mention something here. Maybe I should print this out. Let's go to area code 917. Hey, good afternoon, good evening. We're talking about a few topics here. You have the speed, Wack 100 Maino. Or
yes, sir. Star.
Language.
Star.
Yes,
Gotta be really quick because I'm driving. I have my daughter in the car with me, and I'm actually embarrassed that I'm, up to this.
Sir, your phone sounds very muffled. Can you make some adjustments? It sounds like you're underwater. I want to hear what you're saying.
Okay, do you hear me now?
There you go. Much better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm just calling. I have to make this really quick because, like I said, I'm driving. I have my daughter in the car. She's like 1.5 years old. And so I'm a little embarrassed that, I'm calling in about this. But the one thing I got to say about the whole Maino and Wack 100 thing is that, Maino, he ducked Bunky Essay a long time ago. I'm not sure if you remember that. Bunky.
Sir, no, he didn't duck him. He didn't duck him. What are you talking about? I saw the video footage. What are you talking about? Duck Bunky Essay. Bunky Essay went down to Nostrand and Gates in the daytime and filmed, not at nighttime when they're out there. And Maino and Bunky Essay did meet face to face. Now Maino showed him the hammer. Bunky S.A. didn't want no parts of it.
He just pulled it out. He just showed it. If you show it, you got to pull it out. You gotta use it.
Well, you said he ducked him. Can you be specific? What did I miss?
I'm just saying because that was after. Like once, Bunky, whatever. All I'm trying to say
No, sir, don't say now whatever. I want the details. You said Maino ducked Bunky Essay. Please explain. Educate me.
Okay. Yeah, no. So what I'm trying to say is that okay. So him and Bunky Essay and Maino had an issue, and Bunky did get beat up in a nightclub. by Maino's people, and then Bunky went talking crazy on the DVD. That was, actually, that was before that. And then he got beat up in a nightclub, and then by Maino's people, and then a Bunky was at some album release party or something. Maino saw him. He was like, "Yo, you look familiar."
He said, "You know what I'm about," quote unquote. Sir, the hater misses nothing. You know what I'm about.
Exactly. He said, "You know what I'm about." Maino, but Bunky, people were saying that Bunky was like scared of, Bunky didn't move. He was like, "Yeah, you know what I'm about too." And he says it low, but he does say that. If you listen to the video, he does.
Sir Bunky S.A. came on my show. So did Hustle Hard Gotti. I got to the bottom of the bullshit. That's what I do. But you said he ducked Bunky. I said, not that I'm caping for me. I want to be accurate. He didn't duck. He didn't duck him. He didn't duck him. No.
Well, when I say duck, I just mean that the man called him out to a fair one, and Maino didn't do it.
Sir, that was after Hustle Hard Gotti hit Bunky S.A. over the head with the cash register imperfections. Pow!
Right, but that was Hustle Hard Gotti. That wasn't Maino. I want to see Maino put in some work. Right.
Now we're talking. Now we're on the same page. I want to see Maino get down.
Whack 100 calls in every week. He offers someone to a new fade. Fuck your family.
Sir, you are going to watch your language. Whoa.
I know. I'm sorry.
No. Watch your language in front of your daughter. Never mind me. What are you doing?
Yeah. You're right. Well,
let's get him out of here. Damn. Baby girl sitting right there. You might as well blast goddamn G Unit in the background. Stop cursing in front of the kids. Lord have mercy. Any Brooklyn niggas in that live chat, I want to see Maino get down. Time to get down, nigga. We stayed getting down when I was on St. John's and Notion, huh? Me and Buck Wild, Buck Wild, and two of my homies went up on F.A. Franklin Avenue. Surrounded by 10 niggas, I made Buck Wild, get down with that nigga. I got to ratchet. Get down right now. If you don't get down right now, we can't come back up here no more. That's Brooklyn. Time to get down, nigga. Hold on a sec. Who's on the line? Let me find out. Okay. Florida Boy J, I'm tweaking on that Farmer Sus 300, my nigga. I'm letting you know right now. Florida Boy J, what's cracking? What's happening? FBJ.
Hey, man, we chilling. Yeah, we're chilling. We just getting some work done right now.
Okay.
About to drop another episode of the pod, but before we get to that, let's get into the Maino situation. Let's get into the Wack 100 situation.
Let's
Wack
go.
100, he was allegedly, he was on Clubhouse. You know how he usually runs the daily Clubhouse rooms, and apparently he PTR'd some information and came out and said, Hitmaker, aka Young Berg, called the play, or he's now going to, assist in Wack 100 getting Maino's show on Fox Soul canceled, and because he is offering an incentive for Hitmaker to do this, and the incentive is Wack 100 called him and told him, I have 44 unreleased Michael Jackson songs.
Right.
I'm going to give you 8 of them after they remix them and do their thing. After we put the verses on them, I'm going to give them to you to remix them. And if you take Maino off of Fox Soul, I'm going to give you these 8 Michael Jackson tracks.
Okay, then hang on a second. What does Hitmaker, a.k.a. Young Berg, have to do with Fox Soul? That I couldn't find out. What does he got to do with Fox Soul?
Yeah, that is still not to be known. That was still the missing link in the information. And because that's the missing link in the information, to me, that's telling me that they're not going to try to directly link who he knows to that company to, to have some type of
hang on a second. Florida Boy J, are you sure? Because that's what I asked you this morning. I said, does Hitmaker have anything to do with Fox Soul, or is it something totally different? How does Hitmaker, who was smacked by Maino smacked fire out of him, I think it was 2009, they were on tour somewhere. what does Hitmaker have to do with any platform that Maino's on? And is it Fox Soul? I don't know.
That information, like I said before, I'm still trying to find out. I don't.
Okay.
Does he have any equity with them? I don't. I didn't find any of that out. And all I'm saying is that because of his standing in the industry, he's an executive at Atlantic. He brushes shoulders with the big wigs. I'm pretty sure with relationships as it is in the small industry, he can call or make 2 or 3 phone calls to get somebody canceled, especially somebody that had beef with Maino and Wack 100.
Okay, they're in the live chat saying you're high as giraffe pussy and you're way off. Can we figure this out? And what year was Fire smacked out of Youngberg by Maino? Can somebody please bring me up to speed? Hold on a second, Florida Boy J. Stay there. I got to get to the bottom of this beautiful premium black news. Can you take a call with me, Florida Boy J?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we posted.
Oh, there's Rory. Rory, what's up, man? I got your donation. What's cracking? What's popping?
Peace, God.
Peace. What's cracking with you, grafted man?
It's good. What's going on?
I can't call you God. You're a grafted man. What's popping?
Nah, chilling. Everything's good. I was going to hit the topics. Is that cool?
Yeah, come on. Wack 100. Maino.
Yeah, yo, first off, Wack 100, he's never going to step foot in New York again. He's never going to come to the city again.
Oh,
he's too fresh with the mouth, you know? He's going to end up in the East River or the Hudson River. This cat don't know. He thinks like, no, I'm telling you, man. He thinks like all these other cats, oh, New York been soft, New York been this. Okay, you're going to walk into the right one. We're not all soft. The city ain't changed that much. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's still some of us left from old New York, you know. But I'm not a fan of Maino. You know, Maino choking out a TikToker, a kid that was just joking around. Maino slapping around Young Berg, Hitmaker. Yeah. You don't get no points for that. Yeah. You know, what happened when, on some Brooklyn shit, Star? What happened when
Rory, you got to watch the language. It's too early. Rory, got to watch the language. Too early.
Oh, my bad.
Slow it down. Go ahead.
I'm going to watch the language.
Come on.
What happened when Rod Diggs ran up on Maino and beat up him and his brother in the studio? Or beat up his brother. Beat him up. Slapped the shit out of him. Beat him.
Rory, you and I are cool, but you can be hung up on if you curse again. You can be hung up on. Okay? This is my business, the algorithms. I couldn't even monetize that goddamn Donald Trump show because of language and his name. Last time, man, watch the language. Come on, turn that down in the background, man. Turn that down.
I got you. Yeah, and then Boxing Bar put a scar on his face, and he never got no get back from that. Boxing Bar was on the street for like 5 years, right? And the same thing happened with we're talking about Maino. Same thing happened with Snow Billy. Snow Billy was on his tail, man, when he was in Bed-Stuy. Snow Billy was taking pictures outside his clothing store, or was hanging around the neighborhood, all of that, talking to him any old way. Maino didn't do anything. So I'm with you on wanting to see Maino get down.
I want to see him get down.
Finally.
Time to get down.
Right. I'm with you on that.
And they rock, nigga, till we drop.
Let's get down.
I'm gonna get down, nigga.
I want to see Maino get down with somebody of his own pedigree. Not some little TikToker, not Hitmaker, you know. Get down with some real Brooklyn dudes, man. Get down.
Well, now, hang on a second. Here's the question, Rory. Here's the question for you. Not that I'm rooting for Clayface, because truthfully, I don't know if he's really got anything, you know, in his punch. He sucker punched Stitches. That was a sucker punch. Stitches didn't see it coming. He dropped a little frail meth head to the white boys, alleged meth head. Does he have any power? Is he all talk? Is he all talk?
He's been talking too long without showing and proving.
Right.
I think he's been talking, but that's a lot of them West Coast dudes. You know what I mean? They hide behind them.
We saw Suge Knight talking. And then when somebody tested his jaw, Geronimo!
Push nobody on the train track.
Geronimo.
They don't stab nobody. What do? They do a drive-by. That's lame. That's corny. That's not gangster. That's
Okay.
not, unless you go into enemy territory, there's guns all on you.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
But we haven't seen Wack 100 do nothing to nobody.
Okay.
Who we did anything to? He got knocked out, right?
Okay. Rory, I gotta take other.
That's why I told you.
I gotta take other calls, man. Finish up. I appreciate your donation.
Real quick on the brothers. Real quick on the brothers having their own language. Dude, I hope they do that. I really hope they do that because nobody needs to counter the Spanish language invasion, the Latino invasion more than Black America.
Right.
Nobody has to counter that. No, it's not. It's more important to the Black American community to counter the Latino invasion than it is. They have to go to school with them more than everybody else. They live in their neighborhood more than anybody else. They lose their jobs to them more than anybody else.
Right.
And the Latinos talk the most garbage, basura, about Black Americans in their native tongue than anybody else. I could speak Spanish pretty good. And
you speak Spanglish. You can't speak proper Spanish. You speak Spanglish. Keep it real. New Eurekan. That's what you speak.
New Eurekan, but I also learned Castilian Spanish in school. Okay. You know, when I had already known Spanish pretty good. So you
go to Spain, speak New Eurekan, they'll do this dialect to you. I'll spit right on you. Speak Spanglish. No,
it doesn't translate. But it works for where I live.
Yeah.
Well, it works for where I live.
Hey, I appreciate
That's the Spanish that they speak where I live.
Rory, I appreciate you, man. I got to take other calls. Salute. Thank you for your donation. Thank you. Florida Boy Jay, let's go back to you.
But not.
When did Maino smack Young Berg, a.k.a. Hitmaker? What year? Come on.
2008. He smacked him in 2008.
Okay, because Young Berg came on my show. We were talking, and he wasn't running from the topic. So is this now real? What Wack 100 is saying? I spoke to Young Berg. Going to shut him down. Shut him down where? I still don't know. I don't know where. Or is he just trolling?
For all we know, including Wack's track record, he could be cloud chasing. Young Berg came out, and they went back over. Young Berg didn't come out since Wack 100 went on Clubhouse and said, we got the 8 Michael Jackson songs confirmed. We're about to put them out there. But Wack 100 said himself, this is live audio you can find on YouTube. He said himself, I got 44 Michael Jackson songs. 8 of them I'm going to give to Young Berg to do the remix.
Are you still on Clubhouse, Florida Boy Jay? Hey, you still on Clubhouse? You used to be on Clubhouse heavy. You still there?
No, not at all. I'm more focused on where to get the bag at, which is YouTube. You know, that's where their audience is. That's that's the retention. They got the pay.
Wait a minute. You used to call into this show telling us, breaking down how Clubhouse is the new wave, and we all of us are like left behind. You're not on Clubhouse no more?
No, we did what we had to do. I did what I had to do. I built up a big enough name, reputation. I translated, some audio, a handful of people, some audience members from Clubhouse over to my platform. Okay. I did what I had to do when the platform was on its rise. When it fell off, I jumped off, pivoted where I needed to be.
Okay. Okay. Good to talk to you, man. Anything else you want to mention? And DJ Dooyah, sit tight. I see you. Are you calling in DJ Dooyah? Hold on. Anything else? Football Jay?
Yeah, Perspective Facts podcast. Stronger to see you. The new episode in a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? Go watch it. It's us. It's Florida Boy Jay and Sit Politics podcast. We did it down in Orlando. We had the multi-camera angles, really nice setup. So you go ahead and watch that. We did about 7,000 views, and we're almost to 3,000 subscribers. So go ahead, follow the channel, Florida Boy Jay Star. You have a great show.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Folks, I do research in the afternoons, and I need to know what was Clayface talking about Young Berg canceling something that Maino's doing. What was he talking about? DJ Duya, are you calling in, sir? I got your info on the screen, youtube.com/@845-inch network. Okay. Also, folks, salute to the young lady who runs the page Hip Hop on Trial. She ain't hiding. She posted Zulu Nation's apology from 2016. Did some of you ever see that? You know, I was battling in the New York Daily News and other publications with the Zulu Nation. They were calling me COINTELPRO. I'm an agent. Ooh. And the work that I did, the series of interviews, and the other people that I still have 2 interviews that I never even put out, talking to Zulu Nation elders, late night, recording. Everybody's phone call was recorded from the very first person I interviewed. Emails have all been saved. Zulu Nation apologized. That apology, in case you've never seen it, go to Hip Hop on Trial on YouTube. Hip Hop on Trial on YouTube. Or you can go to my community section. Is it still there? Hang on a second. It'll take you to that page. Thank you to that young lady, huh? Ain't nobody hiding. Download that apology. And don't let anybody tell you, oh, niggas is getting sued. That sounds hot. That sounds hot. You got to get around that goddamn apology first, okay? Sit tight on the phones, guys. Okay, I promoted Devious J. Here's my email address for advertising sponsorship on the show here, okay? Blade, I got your other donation. Okay. Thank you, Blade. Yes, Noam Chomsky. You're up to speed on him, okay? Cool. King Simon, thank you for your donation, sir. King Simon called in. Hemp Lord, salute to you, sir. Quick research. Yeah. Sir, there's many different languages that I'm aware of. I don't have to necessarily keep up with them, but I'm talking about now moving forward. FBA language now moving forward. We're in different times. The language you just referenced and other languages from the past, they represented a different society, respectfully, a different society. Social media is something only the U.S. government could foresee. And the creators of the internet, which I'm sure you know how old that is. Well, maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm thanking you for your donation, but thank you. 845. Good evening. Is that DJ Duya? Area code 845.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
in
man.
the building.
Good to hear from you. I should have you on the screen, or I just had you on the screen. Hold on a second. What's popping on your...
So you just had us on the screen.
Yeah. What's popping on your network? Let's start there. What are you guys doing so I can make sure I'm promoting you, please?
Well, right now, one of my co-hosts, Blizz Get It, he does a show called Trendy Topics.
Okay.
And he was live streaming some trendy topics, and it got us flagged. And now we are banned for a week on YouTube.
Jesus.
But we'll be back at it in the next week. So
okay,
we'll be posting some comment up there, but right now we are banned from YouTube.
Okay. All right, so you sent me some bullet points. Do you want to go through them with regards to Maino, something? I couldn't read all of it, but where do you want to start, sir?
Man, I mean, Maino is from my generation. Obviously, I'm a New Yorker, man. Tried and true and all that.
Okay.
It's a sad day for the New Yorkers, man. We taking L's out here, Star. We taking L's, man. Maino has taken 5 consecutive L's. Let's go.
Come on.
I'll tell you what they were, okay? Number 1, No Billy. Killed his card, man. Made him argue on the phone, raise his voice, get out of character.
Right.
And so Billy
just laughing at him. Number two, you recall the antics he had with the mayor when he brought all the drill rappers up there, and he's not even a damn drill rapper, man.
Well, I don't have to defend Maino, but from the position of an elder, I can respect that, because the drill rappers are entrepreneurs. They don't necessarily have the etiquette of a rapper who goes to a radio station. They just throw it up on social media, and it's kra, gang on gang. But go ahead. Other than that, what else?
What was number three? Number three was the fake fight that he had, that he fessed up to on the internet, that he fake slapped that YouTuber up.
Gotcha.
Number four was saying that Troy Ab's train was fugazi, full gaga, his words, and then he's caught wearing the chain in consecutive videos.
Do you know who caught him? Gully TV. Gully.
Yeah, shout out to Gully TV. Or no, not shout out. Big up to Gully TV.
We don't do shout outs, but go ahead.
We don't do shout outs. My bad. Yep.
Go ahead.
I get it. The fifth L was Clayface, man. Clayface making him look like a dweeb out here, man. I can't take it, man. These Clayface.
Well, now hang on a second, because I'm not clear on what happened years ago. Clayface was talking about, I'm coming to Brooklyn. It was during the whole Treyway wave, and Maino was responding with emojis and maybe he just said, this guy's a clown. But now Maino's saying, let's get right to it. So I don't think that's necessarily an L. Am I amping up this set? Yeah, I'm a grimy, dirty nigga off of St. John's.
This is not Snack DVD era anymore, Star. It is an L because in this new internet wave of trolls, you have to be the victor on the internet.
Oh.
And he's not the victor.
Oh.
So what I feel like is Maino just has to stay away from these trolls, the Troy Abs, the Wack 100, and just show that he's living his life, getting baddies, popping bottles with Jim Jones and living his life doing shows.
Right.
Stay away from the trolls because you can't win against them.
Okay. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you. Do you need some help? You say you guys were reported and your streaming capabilities were taken down. Holler behind the scenes, man. There's a way to get around that, but you have to you just holler behind the scenes. See if I can help you out.
Okay, definitely. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Big dog, and have a great show, man.
Yes, sir. Salute. Okay, salute. Okay. Am I ashamed and embarrassed to be sitting here talking about Wack 100 and Maino? No. I'm trying to help you, you younger people. Well, I'm trying to help you as best I can. RethinkingSchools.org is one of the sources that I referenced earlier with regards to the showrunner topic. Does FBA need their own language? Some of you have been referencing old slave language. I don't want to confuse what we're talking about now moving forward, post-pandemic and the social media, era, with something from the past that has pretty much been forgotten. Not forgotten by me, my generation. I had to learn about that stuff. But, people of color, for the most part, African American, are positioned now different in society. No more of that head and handkerchief stuff. No more of that, bowing your head, Just want to say that. Area code 312. Sit tight. You're up next. 312. Let me go to PayPal. Star, we need another West versus East Coast drama. It's about time someone put whack down. I know niggas on Gates Ave. Okay, well, listen, it's... Is Whack 100 the truth? Objectively speaking, you know? Maybe it's his time to shine. Maybe he's Suge Knight 2.0. Maybe he's not going to take that L like Suge took. You know? Star's Korean Liver says, Star, they don't serve no malt liquor. Oh, okay, thank you so much, man. Don't ever stop trolling. I'm with the trolling. Hold on, guys. Something else I wanted to mention. Promote advertising beautifully. Okay, Beautifully Toxic. I want to promote them. Black Body Works. Guys, I want to ask you something. Hold on a second. Can anyone assist me? I need to know the top 5 female bloggers in Atlanta. In Atlanta only, please. Nobody from a different state. Anybody, can you email me any suggestions? There's a media project someone reached out to me about, and I said, I'll put it out there. A social engineer, someone who does content consistently. No IG models, nothing like that. But if you know of someone, I know of someone who I reached out to this morning. Who are the top 5 in Atlanta? Atlanta only. Social engineers or content creators, okay? Okay, Rory, I got your donation. Salute to Rory. Guys, Rory has a hearing problem. And I say that, with all due respect. He told me, and that's why sometimes when you hear me saying, Rory, he's talking, he doesn't necessarily hear what I'm saying, okay? John, I got your email. Young Berg, what's up? Okay, 2008, that's when Young Berg was smacked for talking reckless. They were on tour together. Maino says, I feel like I did him a favor. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with that, what he said, but it was 2008? Okay, thank you, John Flowers. Area code 312, are you there? Good evening, 312.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you, man?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on a speakerphone, though, homie. That's not going to work. Give you a second to get off. You ready? Are you ready? Yes, no, maybe, sir. Are you ready? Gotta go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you? Good evening. It's cracking.
All right. Yo, what up? This is Big Chill from Texas, man.
Okay.
I wanted to touch on the black language and how it's viewed in this perspective. There was a lot of good points made on here. And it's actually something that's frustrated me a lot throughout my corporate years because I work with a lot of folks that are, from different countries. Mm-hmm. And they type and talk very broken English, but it's never criticized to the level that Black Americans are criticized.
Right.
And so I think it'd be fair if it was just normalized, because it doesn't, like you said, make us any less intelligent. It's just a dialect, simple.
Yeah, I'm exploring this, and I'm even, willing to say that, my generation, my era of learning the King's English and being a snob, come on, you're pronouncing the words wrong. That was good for that point in time, but now there are young Black children who are being homeschooled, if we didn't mention that yet, homeschooled, and they have to learn to work within their own communities first, and social media allows them to do that. That's the next logical step, working online, building their own communities. So it makes sense to me, but I don't know.
Right. And then last, I just want to touch on the whole Maino thing. Yeah, they need to get down.
I think so, yeah.
Stop all the talk.
Yeah.
Square up.
Shoot the fade, run the 5,
All right.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Much love, Star.
Streets got no love, sir. Don't start that nonsense. He was doing all right. I love nonsense. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Hold on a second. Easy Blade Shaving Products. Hold on a second. Another one of my sponsors that has returned. Okay. On the screen, www.easybladeshavingproducts.com. Please go there. Tell them I sent you. I'm always getting new products from them. There's videos in my community section that will help you. They have tutorials, pardon me, in the community section, right? www.easybladeshavingproducts.com, all right? Sit tight on the phones. I want to comb through some more of these cash apps. Vex. What is this, Vex? Okay, this has nothing to do with my topic. Thank you just the same. Marvin, I got your donations. Salute, big nigga. Keep dropping knowledge. Well, thank you, Marvin. Thank you. I'm just sifting through research, and it's a question I've been curious about, the language thing. Newt, 8282, what's more real, FBA departure or the Jesus piece? FBA departure, what do you mean? Florida Boy J, he's doing good at his channel. That's what you're referring to. KC, I got your donation. Okay, you're calling in. Did I just speak to you? There's a delay. Let me see. That may have been him. Hey, something else I want to mention here. On my IG page, Troy Twain, Troll Babies, have I gone viral again? I want to talk about going viral because I've been going viral for decades. I don't say that to sound cool. It's really kind of annoying. It has been for me for many years when I go viral. I've had so many viral moments, most of them not even planned. Going back to when Justin Timberlake was on the Star and Buckwild show, and I convinced him to admit that he went down on Britney Spears. That was the Star and Buckwild show. And then Access Hollywood and all these other shows started taking that audio. Tom Jones, singer Tom Jones, we had a conversation on the Star and Buckwild show about the fine art of eating a woman's ass. Different things. I don't even want to go through my entire history. But have I gone viral again? There's the audio from the show we did with regards to Donald Trump. You guys know what I'm talking about? Why are so many people taking that audio and, hold on a second. Where's that clip? Why are so many people taking that goddamn clip? Well, what's going on with that clip? What does it mean to people? Okay, it's doing some good numbers. Let me turn the volume down. I want to bring it in here. Okay. Close to 4,000 likes. Close to 4,000 shares. I think is that how you share? Okay, yeah, that's a share. So they're sharing that clip. Now, let me just say this, again, not to sound too cocky. And for those of you who want to go viral, do you know what's kind of whack about going viral? Leftovers and maggots from your past. Scat towel bitches, bum ass niggas, wasted white boys. Reaching out via DM. Hey, yo, that clip was, terrain. That's how the white boys reach out. Yo, terrain. Yo, that's fucking funny, bro. Or some of the guys I knew from whether it be the 80s or the 90s, they then catch the viral moments, audio and or video, and then they start reaching out. Then it's like, Jesus Christ, I just want to say that because going viral is not what you think it's all cracked up to be. It reaches the 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. I like talking to my core audience. You know, I don't need 500,000 subscribers or 250,000 views per video. What we do is very unique, but when things go viral in a sense, then you got the idiots, the losers, the degenerates, you know, checking in, yo, we gotta break bread, catch up. No, we don't, fuck nigga. No, we don't. I have no intention of catching up with you. 313, thank you for your donation. Thank you for your patience. Is this KC? 313.
Yo, what's going on, OG? It's KC representing Team Elite.
Okay.
Calling from Detroit by way of Lansing, Michigan.
Yes, sir. What's cracking with you, man?
Yeah, man, I want to get in on this this language thing, this language topic with black people and whatnot.
Okay.
FBA. What I feel like, I agree with, I think that was Mo Facts, what he said, and kind of what you kind of said earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, yes, I think we should have our own language. I guess I would claim it's FBA or ADOS, if you would say. But I think we do have our own language in a way already, and it's called AVE, AAVE, which stands for African American Vernacular English. This is something that I learned about back in undergrad, not giving any credit to college or anything, but this is something that I learned about because I've always been a communication major and a person interested in communication. So this is what I learned was the label for how we speak in our different languages, and we have different dialect, different regions of the country and things of that nature. That's why I feel like it's all about us embracing it, naming it, and also structuring it, putting it into a culture formally, which takes a lot more work and organization on our culture's behalf. But nonetheless, I think we are in development mode of that. Some of the examples that people have been calling in and giving with some of the dialect that we use with each other on a casual basis, that explains some of it. Like I said, I just think it needs to be more accepted, adapted, structured. And English in itself is a broken language from what? Greek and Italian and things and other languages put together. So this is just a derivative of the English language, if you ask me. So I think we already have it. It's called AVE, African American Vernacular English, and we're just developing it. If we want to make it official, we would just structure it and so.
Now, hang on a second. I got a bunch of windows open here, but the language you're talking about, is that from Brazil, or am I thinking of something different?
African American Vernacular English?
Can you Google it?
I wouldn't think so.
Can you Google it? I got time. I got too many windows open right now.
All right.
But there's something. I remember that was Brazilian. I could be wrong.
Let me pull it up now. I got you.
I could be confusing it with something else. Hold on a second. Control Babies, I got your donation. Thank you very much. Deeds will be back tomorrow. You have to regulate yourselves in the live chat, you know? You guys got to do all that, whatever you're doing there, timing people out, you know? Newt 8282 got your donation. Okay, let me close the window and see if I can Google what you're talking about, sir. Because what you're referencing sounds like... Go ahead. What is it? AVE? A-V-A?
Yes, African. The first source I'm pulling up, which I hate to use Wikipedia. Let me put you off the speakerphone. The first source that I pull up, which I hate to use Wikipedia as a credible source, but African American Vernacular English, AVE, is a variety of English natively spoken, particularly in urban communities, by most working and middle-class African Americans and some Black Canadians. I'm not seeing anything in regards to Brazil as of here. Actually, hold on, let me see. As with most African American English, African American Vernacular English shares a large portion of its grammar and phonology with the rural dialects of the southern United States, and especially older Southern American English, due to the historical enslavement of African Americans primarily in that region.
Okay, what you were referencing is AAVE. AAVE. AVE.
Correct.
Yes, okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at this. Where would you say, or how would you say this should apply? There's many different slave languages that, have fallen to the wayside, but how would you see this being applied?
I mean, ultimately, for an example, we have the Urban Dictionary. That's, if you want to call that a source that you can go to kind of get definitions for different terms.
I'm looking at
phrases.
I'm looking at what you sent me, or what you stated, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but how do you implement this over today's dialect of, slang, if you will, Ebonics? How would this be implemented over that? I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't be the expert in that exact development stage and things of that nature. That I was just spitting the knowledge that I know from my experience of Ave, or just from what I learned ultimately. Like I said, the structuring and implementing it into the culture, I wouldn't be able to, have any idea to where to start with that. But like I said, we have sources like urbandictionary.com, which could be an example of somewhere you can go to kind of get even, some type of structure to some of the language and the terms used.
Well, hang on a second. I'm looking at what you referenced: early forms, Old English, Middle English, early modern English, writing Latin English alphabet. So this is, I can appreciate, the information, but how do you get younger black people who, for the most part, don't like to read? How do you get them to say, hey, this is what you should be looking towards?
See, that I couldn't necessarily explain. The only way I would probably get us to implement it, we would have to use modern ways of modern channels. Unfortunately, we have to go through the TikTok, the Instagrams and the Snapchats and things of that nature, because unfortunately that's how a lot of the youth are getting their information.
How about PlayStation?
Sure, that'll work too. Put in a Fortnite.
I'm as serious as colon cancer. Never mind. How old are you? How old are you, sir? How old are you? How old are you?
33.
Okay. You're right there, but never mind my generation. Them niggas is old. Fuck out of here. Your generation, you can have somewhat sort of knowledge, but you got some kids in the background right now. PlayStation.
Yes, my son.
Implement, the newer language and Grand Theft Auto and different games like that. That might work. What do you think?
Yeah, you meet people where they are, right?
Yeah.
If you really want to get a message out, you got to meet your audience where they are.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Hey man, thank you for your donation. Thank you for being patient. Salute.
Yeah, man, appreciate the time, OG man. Go ahead and do your thing.
Yes, sir. Salute. Thank you. Okay. TJ got your donation. Guys, the PayPal information is at the top of the live chat if you want to donate via PayPal. The Cash App is on the screen, okay? King Fury got your donation. Okay, he typed in something that I used to say on the radio. He says, knock, knock, who's there? I am white man. Yeah, that's what I used to say. I am white man. Open the goddamn door. Okay, Blade Star don't want anybody from his past reaching out because they could get him indicted for numerous federal offenses that the statute of limitations hasn't expired on. I've already said that, Blade, on multiple occasions. That's why I don't really deal with people on this goddamn tracking device that you guys love so much. I don't have a bunch of apps in this goddamn phone. I do have a tracker, though. Any number that I get a text from, I can pinpoint the tower that it's coming from. I got a couple of people who text me from different phones, and they think I don't know who they are. I know exactly who they are. Or they call me from a different, a Google number, something like that. I know who they are. Guys, advertising information on the screen right there. Thehater1964yahoo.com if you want to talk business, okay? We'll send you analytics and other things, all right? I'm going to take a break. I want to continue talking about this topic. Also, I am appalled once again. Somewhere in Washington, D.C., a teenager, was he black? Police shot him and killed him, shot him all in the back. Released by the U.S. Park Police. Supposedly he was in a stolen car. They wake him up. The nigga wakes up, fighting and starts the car, and pulls off. We just spoke about this yesterday. All that, single mother energy. Did he have a father? Why do you wake up and start the car and then take off? The police are there, little nigga. What are you scared of? Jail? I want to go back to Maino and Wack 100 for a second. As a dirty, grimy Brooklyn nigga, me, a nigga who has done so much dirt out there, and I own it. I own it. I need to see Maino's gangster at this point in time, Keep me up to speed on the bullshit. Oh, you know where I need to go? I referenced MREC. Let me check on the homie Doggy Diamonds. Salute to Doggy Diamonds, one of your original content creators, social engineers, and architects. You guys make sure you tell Doggy Diamonds the hater is showing him respect, as I always have. Hold on a second. Doggy. What is Doggy saying about Maino and Wack 100? Doggy, let's go, big nigga, let's go. Okay, Wack. Okay, 19 hours ago, Wack 100 Live talking about the Maino and Trail. Okay. Is Doggy saying he wants to see him get down? Huh? Doggy Diamonds is with the shits now. Don't let him fool you. I know he's a lot more calm these days, but he's with the shits, huh? Let me go to MREC. Hold on a second. Can I get a Brooklyn nigga to call him? We need to see Maino get down. This nigga Clayface running around here talking crazy, okay? MREC, Maino spazzes on Wack 100 on IG. Okay. And then yesterday, you see MREC always on top of it. Maino and Wack 100 trade heated words. Okay. When you rep that Brooklyn thing, you got to crash out. You got to crash out. It don't matter how old you are. Look at old niggas start riding around with the stick in Georgia. Nigga, ready to crash out? Fuck around if you want to. Somebody has got to test that nigga's jaw. The nigga was trying to run down on the homie Tretch. What happened to that? Tretch was talking about, nah, we worked it out. We worked it out? I need to see somebody get down. Area code 404. Good evening.
Come on, man. Come on, Ali Quan. Big nigga.
This is a Jersey nigga. He just said Ali Quan. Peace, God. Let's go, big nigga, huh? I want to see Maino crash out. What's happening?
Come on, man. Let's be real. They ain't nothing but posturing, man. They ain't nothing but posturing and flexing. They ain't getting down. Ain't nothing going to happen. All it's going to be is a whole bunch of lip service. Who got down? Give it up. Troy Ave got down. That's who got down.
Right.
And fantasy and reality. And went on the stand.
Right.
These fools keep talking about he's snitching or whatever. Well, who you going to call for help? if you ain't gonna get down right then and there.
Right.
Come on, man. Let's start with the games, man.
Right.
Let's start with these games. You know, the young crowd. Hey, look, I get it. I was out there. I was on that wild and tip. You know, I shaved my little fro when Honest came out because I was the attack of the ball head during that time. But you know, let's get real about this, man. They ain't doing nothing. It's posturing. It's flexing at its best. At his worst.
Okay, now hang on. I'm going to jump in here. You see, you're right. Troy Ave got down for his. I got to respect it. Troy Ave did clap back at Maino. I would like to see Troy Ave put out a track telling Maino it's time to get down, nigga. What's happening? It's time to get down, nigga. Nigga calling your name. Wack 100. What's happening?
Look, you can't get it no cleaner in fancy life, nigga. Get down, get the gun, and still busting back. And took one. That's live.
No. You and I are from Jersey, born and raised. Getting down sometimes mean put up your dick beaters, nigga, and let's get it. Pause. Put up your dick beaters. Let's get it. Right?
Without a doubt. I'm saying if you pull it out and I take it, it's done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Pause. That sounded really crazy. Pause. Go back. What'd you say? What the fuck?
I'll step to you. You pull your heat out. In the middle of it all, I take your heat.
I'm not even talking about the tools. I'm talking about, man, put your shit up, nigga.
Of course, I'm talking about with the hands. I'm talking about with the hands. But see, with this generation, it's not just this generation, most people have conformed to the thrill of carrying a gun. And that's not real. That's not real. Anybody can get a gun. Anybody could get their hands on a gun. If you clean enough, you can get a license. You could get a permit. You can get all that.
I ain't talking about guns.
But what I'm saying, the real gangsters is the niggas that's putting their hands up. After it's over and done with, you go your way, I go mine, if you gonna get up. That's real. That's the real gangster. But all this social media stuff is just posturing. It's just flexing. Is that his worst, man? Is that
well, listen, I need content, so I need somebody to get down. We all need content. Streets got to eat.
Not going to do it.
Streets got to eat. So let's make something happen.
They not going to do it because one going to show up with 10, someone going to show up with 15. Out of that 15, out of that 10, somebody going to pull a pistol, shoot in the air, that's it. It's a wrap. It's scrambled. That's over and done with.
All right.
Good. But let me say this, Ali Kwan, before I get up out of here.
Go ahead.
The dude, what's his name? Mo Fat. So it's not just him. You know, when you're talking about this language, right? We really have to understand the true essence of what this so-called new language is supposed to be, which will never be. Why? Because black people, most and foremost, are the most inviting of all. It's hard for a black culture, a black society to cultivate its own secrets without giving it away. Niggas talk all this stuff about reading the history. They know this. Hey, the architects, this and that.
Right.
And then you broadcast it. You giving this information away.
Right.
Wiretap. You think these crackers sit back and really know, oh, yeah, well, this means this and that. No, it's a nigga in there. Yeah. That's what that mean. Broccoli, yeah, we got that. Oh, he doing, yeah, that's what that mean. You can't break it up. Niggas in Harlem got a different language from people in Brooklyn, and it's segmented that way. So, I mean, let's just give up this hype, this so-called ADOs, BFF, and not BFF, whatever, all these different little small groups talking about, oh, yeah, we need to create this. How about creating something in the own community that you live in?
Right. Okay.
How about starting with policing your neighborhoods? How about cleaning up your own neighborhoods in the inner cities? But instead, you want to get this so-called fake gathering. Yeah, we're going to create this. You know, we're educated. We've been studying this for years. You studying, nigga, what is you doing? What you doing? Where's you going with this, with all this studying?
Okay.
You know,
hey, I got to go, man. Salute. You're hating. You're on that old hating shit, but salute. Thank you, man.
Of course.
No disrespect to Maino, but we saw Troy Ave get down up in Irving Plaza. Troll babies, right or wrong. Troy Ave came through the crowd. Pow, pow, oh. Casanova ducking for cover. Damn. I need to see you get down, Maino. Just on some G shit, man. I need to see what you're working with, my nigga. Niggas can't be out here living off of old reps, man. Supreme, peace. Supreme, he says, peace, God. You got these niggas fooled. Why don't you tell the truth and tell them you're really a 5%er? Is that the Supreme I know from back in the days? Okay, hang on a second. Somebody emailing me about Shot 97 business. Hold on. Let me just say copy. This is very important. Very important. Okay. Dana, thank you again. Dana sent me some notes, more notes. 240, sit tight, you're up next. 240, sit tight. Okay. Okay, and this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Watch on this. Okay, someone sent me a playlist of drill music. Thank you. And I got a brand new animation station sweeper for shot97.com. I will upload that tomorrow. So before I took the break, I spoke about Washington, D.C. Is this an old story? It was just posted yesterday on TMZ, right? Police fatally shoot a teenager in a stolen car in Washington, D.C., and the horrific incident was all caught on video. Okay, body cam footage in case you don't know. U.S. Park Police and D.C. Metropolitan Police. Now, broad daylight. Supposedly, this guy was sitting in a stolen vehicle. You see, the police tried to, they did open the door. He's in there sleeping. The cop reaches in, unlocks the other doors. So they're able to open the back door and the right driver's door. Looks like it's a BMW, maybe an X6 or something. I'm not sure. The teenager, they're saying a teenager, he just starts panicking, fighting. Starts the vehicle, and pulls off. You guys know this story? Pulls off. The cop is in the back seat saying, stop. The cop is in the back seat saying, stop. Nigga, where are you going? The police are in the back seat. The cop says, stop or I'm going to shoot you. Now, the cop's life is in danger because this nigga's driving hella reckless. He starts shooting him in the back. Pow, 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 pow. They crash. Pow. Do you know this story? Do you know this story? I have to ask, does this correlate to what we spoke about recently? Young black males who don't have a father, raised by single mothers. Mama's emotional. Mama don't give a fuck. Get off me, get off me, get off. Likes to fight. Is that learned behavior? Why did this teenager wake up fighting? Start the car and pull off. Hang on a second. 718, sit tight, you're next. 718. Why? And then get shot in the back. And now what? Now a statue for this nigga? A protest for this nigga? Nigga, stop. Just stop in the name of the law, nigga. Jesus Christ. Let's finish up here. Does FBA need their own language if you're just now joining the show? We've been having a pretty good discussion for the most part. People have brought very good topics to the table. And you will be my last caller. Good evening. Are you there? You're my
Good evening, Star. I'm here.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for your patience. Where do you want to start?
Okay. I want to talk about that video.
Yeah.
I didn't see it of the shooting with the cops.
Okay.
Man, I don't know how far I should go in. A lot of these women deliberately, they know what they're doing to their sons and how ill-prepared they're going to be when they step out and end up in situations. I believe they deliberately set their sons up.
Did you call in on the last show early? Was that you or someone else?
It was me.
That was you, okay. Do you have a name or are you anonymous? You gave us some good information.
I said Sarah, so I'll say Sarah again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people thought you were trolling. Are you?
No.
Okay. And can I just ask, how old are you? You don't have to say what city you're from, but how old are you, Sarah? How old are you?
32.
Okay. So the video, it's worth seeing because, again, I'm tired of seeing young black males squirming and fighting and running.
It's very predictable.
Yeah.
They're completely ill-prepared when it comes down to authority.
Yeah.
But,
Bingo.
These women, I'm going to not go all the way in, but these women know.
Go in.
A sure way to get the attention, to get in front of the news cameras, to get a paycheck is when something happens to their sons. Like that. It's they'll end up like the rest of them at the MTV Awards on the red carpet with Beyonce. That did happen. It was several mothers whose sons were killed by cops, and Beyonce took them to the MTV Awards.
No, I hear you, but I just want to make sure you're not trolling. I mean, what you're saying is it's interesting. I just want to make sure you're not trolling. So now, are you a mother yourself?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. I swear, I'm not trolling you.
Okay.
I've studied this. I've watched and played I've paid close attention, and I realized that there is indeed a pattern.
Yeah.
With these sons and with these specific mothers. When you have a black male child, the most important, you would expect that they would teach their sons how to handle authority.
Right.
How to conduct yourself they don't get that at all.
Right.
So then you watch, when an incident happens, you watch the aftermath of, with the mothers, the newfound fame, attention, the Gucci bag, the celebrity attention that comes after it, and the paycheck.
Not that you have to see it, but this video, it's disturbing, not just because of how he died, but it's like, dude, why would you wake up panicking? There's 3 cops, one on each side, one in the back seat. You're caught. And as you just said, defying authority, started the car, pulled off, and it's like the cop is in the back seat saying, with the gun at his back, saying, stop, or I'll shoot, stop. He did not even give a fuck about the cop saying that. Go ahead.
That proves my point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, so much damage has been done. I'm not joking. I'm not trolling in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
It's like, how do you miss that? That considering the environment, how do you miss not talking to your own, especially your sons, in regards to how to properly engage, stay calm, yes, no, don't go turn. They lash out, and it's premeditated, not from them, but from those who they come from.
Right.
They were deliberately not given that type of information. It's very wicked indeed.
Okay.
Because we've seen the outcome enough times.
Before I go, would you care to take a shot at the subtopic? Does FBA need their own language? It was just something I was exploring. We combed through it pretty much. It's just an idea. Any thoughts on that, or no?
It will be. If they did have their own language, it wouldn't be their own for long. Because someone within there is going to break it down to Brad and Brian. This is, this means that, and this means. If they do have their own language, it won't be their own for long, just like everything else.
Great point. Hey, thank you for calling in and have a great evening.
You're very welcome, sir. Shout out to your chat. Take care.
We don't do shout outs, but thank you. Okay. Don't do shout outs. Okay, I think we combed through this. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I still don't have the answer, if there even is one. Maybe Wack 100 was just trolling. What does young Berg have to do with Maino's show? Hitmaker. If anybody has the information, please email me. This is a Brooklyn thing, folks, and that's why I'm saying Maino needs to get down. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hang on a second. Where is? Oh, let me get songsthatwork.info banner on the screen. This is one of the best sites you can go to if you're an artist, producer, manager, someone who just wants to be behind the scenes. You don't have to be always the chump in the front. You can be behind the scenes. This is a great site to go to. Please tell them I sent you, okay? Have a great evening.